Okay, well, let's kick it up a notch. We'll still stay in 4/4 time, and let's do some more rhythms. Okay, 4/4 time, that is our time signature. Top note, or top number, gets how many beats per measure. The bottom number tells us what type of note the symbol gets 1 beat. I'm going to draw my bar lines to separate the measures. All right, so let's go over our notes. We have the quarter note, just the note head filled in with a stem. It equals 1 beat in this time signature. Half note, stem with the note head not filled in. That gets 2 beats in this time signature. The whole note is just the note head not filled in. This one gets 4 beats in this time signature. We have an eighth note, which is like a quarter note. The note head is filled in with the stem and then a flag. You can also see it as 2 eighth notes that are beamed together, or sometimes in groups of 4, and each one still gets half a beat. So here are their cousins, right? They're rests that also get 1 beat. We have the quarter rest, the half rest with the box that sits on top, the whole rest with the box that sits on the bottom because it's heavier, it weighs more. Then we have the eighth rest, which looks like a funky 7. And then we're going to add one more note. It's going to be the 16th note. All right, so the 16th note is like an eighth note, has a flag, but this one has 2 flags. This one gets a quarter of the beat. And just like the eighth note, it can be beamed in groups of 2 to 4. Here's the stems for both 16th notes with 1, 2 beams. So we know it's twice as fast as the eighth notes. And these get a quarter of the beat each. Okay, I'm going to draw some rhythms here in one color, and then we're going to start doing the beats in another color. So I'm just going to start drawing out some rhythm. Remember that I have to equal 4 beats total per measure. So while you're watching me draw this in, for each measure, oh, forgot, we have to number the measures so we know what measure we're talking about. Each measure has to equal up to 4 beats total. So let's see if you can follow along. Now, this looks pretty confusing at first, but I'll tell you what, for sure, I'm pretty sure that I followed the rule correctly. I used the quarter note to equal only 1 beat, like we have designated up here. 4 beats are in each measure total. So let's go with the counts. I'm going to draw them with just the counts in one color and the rest in another color. Let's see if I can do this. 1, here's the and. Why is that the and? Well, this gets 1 full beat. This is beat 1. But it's silent because it gets half the beat. Here's the and, or sorry, beat 2, and here's the and of 2. And over here, we have beats 3 and 4 because the half rest over here gets 2 beats. Here's 1, parentheses 2, 3, and, remember that's how we count eighth notes. Now, 16th note counted a little bit different. It takes 4 16th notes to equal 1 full beat, and here's how we count it. 4, E, and So we count 4 E and Now, this eighth rest on measure 3, that's beat 1. But the other half of beat 1, because it's the eighth rest, it gets only half a beat. The eighth note is the and here's 2. This gets all of beat 2. Here's the beginning of beat 3 now. There should be an eighth note here. I don't know if you saw that while I was drawing, but these two 16th notes are together of the last half of beat 3. So this second 16th, or this first 16th note, and then the very last quarter rest is beat 4. We have now a really long, complicated rhythm, and let's see if we can count this together. It may be a little tricky, but we're going to try. I want you to say shush on the rest, and count out loud the pink numbers, all right, or the pink counts. Okay, so let's count this. Ready, together. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, and 1, 3, and 4 E and 2, 3, and Okay, so that was pretty complicated. Let's go a little slower so we can show you what's happening in measure 1. Remember that beat 2 is silent, but it's only half of beat 2. The other half of beat 2 is the and. Okay, that's the second part of the beat. So we will be quiet when we tap our toe or tap our finger on the eighth rest, and on the eighth note, we say and, while our finger's up. Remember, this is the up beat. So here's just measure 1, and we're silent for the last 2 beats here. Ready and go. 1 and. Here we go again. Ready and go. 1 and. Notice when my finger was up and traveling over, there was and. 3, 4 are silent. Let's take a look at measure 2 now. Just measure 2. Measure 2, we have half note, which gets 2 beats, 2 eighth notes back to back. Remember, this is only 1 beat. It takes 2 eighth notes to make 1 beat, hence why you have 3 and. And then we have a set of 16 notes back to back. 4, E, and, Why 4? Because the first 16th note lands on beat 4, and the rest of beat 4 is there. If it gets a little confusing, remember we talked about there was 2 parts to a beat. There's a down and an up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you subdivided it even more in half, divide that by 2, we now have 4 parts if you think about a pie. Instead of just having a down and an up, we have a down, middle, up, middle. And that's the last part of the beat. So we have 4 E and A. By the time my finger goes back down, that's the next beat for the next measure. So let's try just singing this first measure together. We're going to sing up to the 2 eighth notes. 1, 2, set and count. 1, 3 and. That one's pretty easy. Let's try it again. 2, set and go. 1, 3 and. Let's add the 16th notes. 2, set and go. 1, 3 and 4 E and A. Notice I didn't say 4 E and A like it's really fast. I said it really kind of short and precise, almost mechanical, because these are evenly spaced out within 1 beat. So I'm not going to say 4 E and A, just really fast, even though the tempo is slow. I'm going to make sure that I hit all 4 pitches or 4 notes within that 1 beat as evenly spaced out as possible, without rushing, without slowing down. Okay, rushing means we say it too fast or play it too fast. Slowing down means we're behind the beat, we're going too slow. So let's try it again together. Make sure that we stay everything even as possible. 1, 2, set and sing. 1, 3 and 4 E and A. So there's measure 2. Now let's look at measure 3. Measure 3, we have a conundrum here. We start counting on the and rather than on beat 1. Beat 1 still occurs, but remember that it has 2 parts in this case, a down and an up because of the 8th rest and the 8th note. So we come on the and the next down beat will be 2. This is a chord note. It gets all of beat 2. The next down beat is going to be 3. The last half is and on the way up, and then back down is and then when our finger actually touches or toe touches the ground, then we have a quarter rest on beat 4. But let's see if you can follow along. I'm going to do it very slowly. When I count off, you're going to stay quiet when your toe or my finger taps the paper, because beat 1 is silent. You're going to say and on the up part of my finger or your toe. 1, 2, set and count. And 2, 3 and A. Let's try it again. 2, set and go. And 2, 3 and A. Now I didn't say 3 E and A because there's only 3 notes, and the first part of this beam is an 8th note. And we have 2 16 notes beamed together in the last half of the beat. This is the first part of the beat. Here's the last half of the beat. Imagine if we did 4 16th notes all together, but we put these 2 together as beat 3. And that's why we have and left over. E will be right there, be quiet, or we put that in parentheses. This will be 3 and A. Let's try it one more time together. 1, 2, set and count. And 2, 3 and A. And that's it. Let's put this all together now from beginning to end, all 3 measures. 1, 2, set and count. 1 and 1, 3 and 4 E and A, and 2, 3 and A. All right, that's pretty much basically how this works here. We can flip it around some more and give you some more ideas and exercises of how this rhythm can be changed up.